Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to a new playthrough on the channel. We're back into the Terra Mystica universe again today, but this time we're playing the newest game in that world, Age of Innovation by Feuerland Spiele. Very similar to Terra Mystica, we're once again trying to build up our living space for whatever species we're playing as. And the one we're playing as today, we're playing as the Navigators who start on Swampland. The Navigators start off 3 on the law track, which is actually off shot, so you can't see that. But we do start with a Scholar, 3 tools, and 15 credits. And 15 coins. You're probably going to hear me use workers and tools interchangeably. I've had that nasty habit since I've been in the Terra Mystica universe. But there's the special ability for the Navigators. Let me just double check that. Is whenever we build a workshop next to a river space, we score 2 points. And Jester saying, holy crap, I was busy yesterday. Yes, I was. I did an APA football game as well as Gaia project. Which one are you wondering about, Jester? Probably both of them. Let me continue setting the scene here while we figure that out. And we'll be playing against the Automa on the Mountain faction today. They are playing the Druids once again. Same faction as they played in Terra Mystica yesterday. This time they're starting up 2 on the Law track. Their faction action when it comes up from the Automa deck is to transform and build. And they advance 2 levels in a single discipline. Looks like based on catch-up mechanism. Alright, so now we need to set up the round bonus tiles. Round 1 is all about putting out your palace or your university. You get 5 victory points if you're able to do that. For every 2 up on the law track, we'll get a worker. The Automa will get 4 victory points. Round 2 is all about using spades. 2 victory points per spade. For every level up on the economy track, we'll get a coin. The Automa will get 3 points if they're up on the law track. Rounds 3 and 4 are all about dwellings. Round 3 is the law bonus. For every 3 on the law, you get a scholar, 3 victory points for the Automa. Round 4, every 3 you're up on the banking track. Actually, the gear track is engineering. You'll get 4 power for that and 5 points for the Automa being up on economy. Level 5 is all about building towns, 5 points per. For every 4 on engineering, you get a spade, and 4 points for the Automa if they're up there. And then round 6 is a double track. And then round 6 is a double bonus. So putting out schools, 4 points per that, and then trading stations, 3 per. Or guilds, I should say. Gaia project, what I thought of it, also APA football now that I mention it. Let me finish setting the scene and I'll talk a little bit about what I thought of both games yesterday. We also need to look at the competency tiles. Those can vary where we advance. So first up, looking at 3 economy would be income of 3 victory points and 2 coins. I don't necessarily like that being there. Then for 2 on economy and a law book, every time you send a scholar to advance in a discipline, you get 2 points. And then 1 on economy track and 2 economy books. A once per round action to charge 4 power. Again, I'm going to use charge and gain interchangeably because I started in this world with Gaia Project. Then looking at 3 law, when you pass, you advance, you gain victory points based on your lowest level in the track, which right now for me would be 0 because that's my lowest. 2 on law, and a law book. A one-time bonus of a tool, 5 victory points, and 2 coins. 1 on law and 2 law books. I get 2 annexes, which I can use to strengthen a dwelling. And then at 3 on engineering, when I pass, 2 points per city I've formed. 2 on engineering and an engineering book. An income of a tool and a 1 in any discipline. Then 1 on engineering and 2 engineering books. I get a neutral tower I can immediately place, but I have to be able to terraform to it. And income of 2 power and 2 coins on income. 3 on medicine. Every time I place a dwelling, is that next to a border hex? I think that's a border hex. Here we go. Yes, on a border hex. Score 3 points. Then on 2 medicine and 1 and a medicine book, 1 time 2 free spades, and 1 on medicine and 2 medicine books. Income of a book and a power on income phase. Then our palace tokens we have to choose from. We always have the standard 2 power on income and 1 time of 10 victory points. As far as the other palaces, income of a worker and 1 time city. And 6 power. Okay, this is a pretty involved palace tile, so let me look at this one. Here we go. 6 power on income. Gain 2 free advances on the sailing track. And when I found a city, I can ignore a river hex between buildings to create my group. Okay, when I do that, place the city tile in the ignored river hex. And then looking at our innovations, we've got one that's going to cost two economy books, 2 law books, another book, and 5 coins if I don't have a city. That's a monument that I can place out for 4 power, and I get 7 victory points for that. 2 engineering, 2 medicine, any book. There's a 1-time communications bonus. Is that based on connected spaces? Based on the number of building groups I have. So 1 or more buildings that are adjacent. And then 2 economy books and 3 of anything. Is a 1-time extra palace along with 2 new power into bowl 3. And I get 4 power on income. But I don't get a palace tile for placing that one. Then 2 law and 3 of anything is 5 points per college I have, per school I have out. Yep, for each school I have. Then costing 2 engineering and 3 of any is a university I can place out. I believe I get a competency tile for that one. No, I don't. I can found a city with only 3 buildings, and I gain 2 victory points on income. And the last one is architecture, which that one is, if I can ever find it, here we go. For each different shape I have on the game board, advance 1 level for free and a discipline of my choice. And a 1-time bonus of 10 victory points. And then our special book actions. First up, for 2 books, I can gain 6 coins. Then 1 book to gain 5 power. And finally, a book to advance 2 in any discipline. All right, now let's do initial build placement. So I have to place, so when I go to do initial setup, I place my first workshop. So I think this first workshop I'm going to put toward the middle of the board. Then the Automa will place both of theirs. They'll place it in the exact same way they do in Terra Mystica. So we've got the Automa deck right here. There'll be 2 letters on these cards, as a couple of them drop. Come on. All right. And I've got the card here. I've got the reference card for setup to indicate based on, actually there's one for the other side of the board as well if I want to play with more room. So based on the card I pull out and the starting faction, which they're on the mountain since that's on the opposite side of the wheel from the swamps, that'll be what this faction starts with. So the letters are down there. The A structures are going to be the marked structures. B are going to be unmarked. So looking at mountains, A goes right here, and that'll get a mark on it. So A goes here. And I forgot to, well, actually, it's probably fine. I have to get some mark. B goes right here, and that doesn't get a mark on it. Let's see. And then I've got my second structure that I can place out. What does my cycle look like? I do kind of want to be around the... I do kind of want to have at least one building around the Automa. So I'm actually going to put this swamp down, or this dwelling down right here, so I can try to take advantage of that structure being there. Hopefully they'll start doing a lot of upgrades with it. I now no longer need the start card, so that can go back to the box, and then I'll go ahead and build the Automa deck. So I need the star cards out, and actually 3 is going to go right on top, as that will get at. We're going to play on easy once again. So the rest of the Automa cards will get shuffled. Then 3 will go on top of that stack. The Automa also gets the... Oh, we need to go through the round boosters as well. So the one that the Automa is starting with is two tools on income phase and once per round action to advance 1 in any discipline. Let me get the power tokens out for everything there, plus for the special, for the booster actions. I can go there, and then I need 2 more on the round boosters. Then we've also got a special action to build a bridge and gain a book on income. Then a worker on income, and when you pass 4 points per palace or university you have out, 3 power on income, and 3 points whenever you put down a trading state, a guild, plus 1 on the shipping track, and when you place near a river hex, I think that is, actually that might be border hex 2, now that I look at it. Let's see, no, that is a river hex this time. Wait a minute. I thought navigators are river hexes. That might be, that's 2 points for that. That might be a good one to have come round. That might be a good one to have come around 3 or 4. And we turn the 2 perpendicular. Let's see. Round 1 is all about putting out my workshops. If I take one that gives me, actually, round 1 is about palaces and universities. If I take this one first, and I think I will, that will give me the last worker I need to be able to both put out my palace and let me still upgrade my terraforming steps so I can take advantage of those in later rounds. So I think with that, we are all set. Before we jump into this game, I will talk a little bit about what I thought of both Gaia Project and Appa Football. So Gaia Project for me was, I ended up kind of agreeing, I kind of ended up coming out of that game agreeing with you on some of the points that you were raising about that. The new planet types were very obnoxious to get to, and very much a disadvantage if you start, let me close the closet door. The new planet types are a pain in the neck, and I think it's actually kind of a disadvantage to play one of those factions, because the problem seems to be that even if you start on even if you play a faction that starts on one of those planets, you basically have to spend the resources to get onto a new planet as if you were trying to get to a new planet type. Plus, if you start on, say, the proto-planets, you don't get the victory points from that. And getting to the asteroid planets requires you to commit to going up the Gaia Project track. So essentially, you're locking yourself out of being able to terraform, out of being able to use the transdim planets, because you're committing those to going on the asteroid planets, which I do find that to be a bit of a pain in the neck. I don't necessarily agree about the ships being worthless, though. because they do give you new actions, and I was actually making a fair amount of use of some of those ship actions. So if you use those carefully, those can actually be very helpful. And then the new factions with the new planets, yeah, those kind of ended up being weird. So I mostly agreed with you on that, but the only point I'm going to argue on is the new ships being worthless. I do think there's value in having those ships out there. But since it does force you to play with everything else, I don't know how much I'm going to do with the expansion. As far as APA football goes, that was another ticker test I was running as I pulled out my 1998 season for the Seahawks and the the Eagles. Actually, I thought that test went pretty well because I did my same test that I did with 5D20 football, because there's exactly zero chance I'm going to play a full 4-quarter game if I use that as a ticker. If I'm going to use that as an engine for a full season replay, I'm not playing a full 4-quarter game. The only systems I'm comfortable doing that in are Momentum Football and Glory Days Pro Football. My house rules that I set up for getting to the 4th quarter of the game I thought worked pretty well, though. And as a whole, doing that along with the ticker test worked out well. So let's look at that. Thanks. You think I'm right. We should try it sometime together and see how it plays with other people. Might be different. Possibly. I'm like, well, I say possibly to it being different with other players. But I'm definitely open to trying it out if we can find something that has the expansion as well. It was a lot to manage and a lot to do with it for very little reward. Again, it's really not that much to manage, I don't think, because you send the shuttle out there once, and then it looks like you've essentially explored it for the entire game. So really, it just gives you a new row of QIC actions. And I don't know if you were watching that, but the ships out there when you play with the Automa actually covered up the old version QIC to give you those new actions and new ways to spend some of your resources. So say you have a mountain of credits, but you're out of ore. If you've explored the ship that gives you a credit action, that does give you something to do to maybe help you either get the last punch for the round in case there's something you need to do in the round, or a way to get yourself set up for the next round. So hopefully that thought kind of makes sense, but I am open to trying it with other people. Anyway, I think that's probably, we might chip in with conversations on that. Maybe you're not arguing. Maybe you need to try it again. That's why you wanted my opinion. Okay, I do respect the opinion on that, but what say we jump right into Age of Innovation now, shall we? All right, so coming into our first income phase, we get a total of 4 tools, because remember, I took the booster that gives me an extra tool. And I think that is it. So, what to do on round 1? I think I can probably do both if I want to get my... Well, I should be able to do both if I'm going to try to get my palace out right away and be able to upgrade my terraforming. So I'll start off by spending 2 tools and 3 coins, because I'm going to upgrade this dwelling into a guild. And then the Automa, once I draw their cards, the Automa is going to lay their actions out exactly the same way as they do in Terra Mystica and Gaia Project. And in this case, they're trying to take a faction action around their unmarked structures on priority B. So actually looking on priority B, as we'll grab the card, they've got no mountains around them, and they're considered to be up 0 on the faction. But they do have a wasteland around they can get to, which is this space right here. So they will put wasteland down, or not a wasteland, a mountain down, and they'll put this they'll put a dwelling out, and then they'll advance on a catch-up mechanic. That'll be 3 from the right. So 1, 2, 3. They're going up on the engineering track. And then for me, I will spend 4 more tools and 6 coins to go down to 6. That will let me upgrade this guild into a palace. That'll give me 5 victory points for that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I get to take one of the palace tiles, which I think will be... So which one do I want? I think here I want the... I could take a city tile right now if I wanted to. Let me see what the city tiles... Actually, let me get those out of their bag. I'm definitely not lacking for options here, though. Well, I'm deciding if I want the city, or if I want the free city, or if I want the 2 free advances on shipping. And I think, honestly, I want the 2 free advances on shipping. So that'll give me 6 power on income, and now I can skip. So now I'm up 2, which I'm up 2 on shipping, which gives me another 2 victory points and 2 books. And I think here I will take the... I think here I'm going to take... The thing is, none of these innovations are particularly appealing. So I'm just going to take 2... I'm going to take 2 medicine books with the plan of eventually spending them for other things. Because, like I said, the innovations this playthrough are not that appealing. Our next play for with the Automa is going to be... Oh, they would only take an innovation in rounds 3 and 4 and later. So they're advancing 1 on a track, moving 2, counting 2 from the right. So 1, 2. They're advancing on the engineering track. Let's see. Then that would bring me... Actually, before they decide to get cute and take a power action, or a book action, I am going to spend my 2 books to gain 6 coins, because I'm very much hurting for money at this point of the game, and I'm going to be hurting if I pull the trigger on my plan to go ahead and upgrade my... wait a sec. Oh, that's out. So if I stick with my plan, I'm going to be hurting for coins right now. And because the Automa's in their perpendicular section, they might be passing. They are passing, and I know that because they've got the envelope with the pencil up here. So they will... Actually, these should have coins on them as well. So the Automa will end up being the first player. They take the middle tile. And of course, the Automa doesn't keep resources. Anybody in chat, if you have any questions, which is presumably going to be likely just Jester at this point, feel free to stop me and I'll explain things as best I can. The Automa's up on medicine, so they do get 4 victory points, going up to 24. All right, then we will rebuild the deck. Getting card 3, since that's the parameter of the construction of the deck. And now I've got run of the board for a little bit. The question is, what do I want to do with that run of the board? And I think here I'm not even going to have enough to build a... Actually, I was going to say, I'm not even going to have enough to build anything on my next round. So I think with that in mind, I am going to... I think I am going to stick with my plan here to try to set myself up for round 3. So I'm going to spend a scholar, 5 coins, and a tool to advance on my terraforming track, which means now my steps cost me 2 per spade, and I get 2 books back. All right, then I'm going to spend one of those books to gain 5 power. Mostly since I know when I start gaining power, I'm going to be able to spend a lot of it. So that'll send me up. Let me charge 5, 3, 4, 5. And then do I want to go up 2 in a discipline? It would probably be going up on... So what discipline would I want to go up if I spend this book to go up 2 in any discipline? Actually, you know what? I think I will do that. I will spend that to go up 2 in a discipline, and I think I'm going to go up in... Do I want to go up in... Would I rather go up in medicine or law? Because those are the 2 I'm looking at right now. Medicine would give me a worker, and I know I'm going to be hurting for workers this round. But going up on law would give me 2 more power, which is also a tempting idea. Which would bring me 4 into, which actually I could take 2 more workers from that, and then actually be able to do something in round 2. Well, would I be able to do anything in round 2? Probably. Yeah, actually I should be able to make a connection over here and then get to this swamp to be able to build there. So, yeah, I think I'll go ahead and go up on law here, even though I'm kind of sacrificing the science bonus in this case. That'll give me another 2 power since I'm going past a 2 power threshold. Then I'll spend 4 power to gain 2 tools. I could start burning power here if I really want to go nuts with this. That would be 2, 3, 4, which could give me 7 coins potentially. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm going to burn 4 power, which is going to remove that from the game to move these 4 into bowl 3, and then I'm going to spend that to get 7 coins. Unfortunately, I've got no coin income coming in right now. What that's doing, though, is that's setting me up so I can start moving 6, so I'll be able to move 6 power into bowl 2 next round. But I will have to pass. I do get 4 victory points as I have my palace out. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the booster I want here is... I'm going to take the one that lets me build... Do I want the bridge? Do I want the free bridge? Or do I want the advance on income phase, or the advance on a discipline? I'd mostly be taking the advance on discipline for the work, for the tools, which I think I will do. All right, so I'm not... So yeah, we'll take that for the tools since I've got plenty of coins right now. So now we go into end of round, which end of round is gain the science bonus. I already gave the Autumn their victory points. I don't get the worker, though, for being up on law track. We remove any X tokens that were used, which there were plenty used this round by yours truly. Then we place coins on the bonus round tiles that weren't chosen. There we are. Then we flip the bonus tiles face up for the round. And now we return the... Well, technically, actually, no. These get returned to the box because they're... The gray on gray is hard to see. Which one are you looking at there? Are you looking at one of the... Are you looking at some of the spaces on the board? Not my fault, just happened. Some of this also might be a little bit of glare. It wouldn't have been a problem if I was still able to trust my Sony camera as my streaming camera. Everything would probably be a lot better on that front. I may need to look into a new camera for streaming purposes, but I do need to have an eye on this Sony webcam now, on my Sony camera, now that it's causing me some problems, at least for streaming. Let's see. So now we're into round 2. The Automa building on the Gray Mountains. Yeah, unfortunately, maybe if I zoom in a little bit. Let me play around with the zoom here. Let's see if that makes it any better. Come on. Thing does not want to zoom for me. That's not really making it much better. Well, a little bit, but probably not enough to justify zooming it all the way out. Or try to pull it in a little bit. Sorry, Jester. Nothing I can do about it from the looks of it. Anywho, coming into income phase, we get a total of 4 tools. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6 power. So 2, 4, 6. Use a blue or yellow. Zooming, it's working. Unfortunately, I think I'm... Let's see, the Automa building on the Gray Mountains. That would change the game out, but I probably could do... Well, I think I could go with the yellow for the purpose... I think... Would a yellow on gray work any better, you think? Let me zoom it back in just a little bit. Because I set everything up with the opposite on the wheel. So just to show you what I'm talking about. So I've got my terraforming wheel out here. I'm playing the swamp faction, and the opposite sides are either the gray or the red factions. So that's kind of how I set all of that up. Maybe if I just use the yellow just for representation on the board, it might make it a little bit easier to see. So let me swap all of these out. So I'll still use the gray faction, but I'll use yellow for all of the tokens. So bear with me while I swap all of that out. Let me grab a bag for... There we are. Let's see, we need 2 more dwellings. Also, since you need a separate unused color. You still need a separate unused color for the... You need a separate unused color for the Automa. I happened to choose blue when I was setting this up late last night, so I can't really use the blue faction for that. But let me swap everything out here for the gray faction. as, of course, I drop a school. All right. Three. Should be 2 more of these hexagon pieces. There we are. The yellow on yellow might be a little bit hard to see on the economy track, but you guys can't really see the... Oh, knock it off, Jester. But yes, sometimes I'm a little bit clumsy, especially when I'm resetting everything. Ay, ay, ay. Let's see, that's scholars. Oh, and then we've got, oh, right, we've got 3 dwellings, 3 workshops on the board. I always forget what the word is for these. Anyway, now I think we've got all that set up. So now we're into income phase, which I already did my income. The Automa is the first player. I did the 6 power already. Okay. The Automa is the first player, though, so they are sending a scholar to attract 3 from the right. So 1, 2, 3. They're sending a scholar over to the law track. 1, 2, 3. All right, and then looking at my turn, this is all about spades, and unfortunately, I don't have another scholar unless I burn more power, but I don't think I'm in love with that idea in the slightest. I did forget to advance the dummy player on... It wasn't on law, I know that. Actually, I think it was on medicine that... Yeah, it was on medicine that they advanced on. So blue should be up 2 more on medicine track. Let's see. And this wasteland up here is very much inaccessible to me because it's a 3... Because that's a 3-step space. That's a 3-spade space. The island is much more accessible at 1, so I think I will go ahead. I'll spend a tool and two. I'll spend a total of 3 tools. 1 to pay for the workshop and another 2 to pay for the terraforming step. Along with 2 credits, I need a swamp, which goes right there. And I'll put a dwelling on top of that. And because I used a spade, that gets me 2 victory points. And then for the Automa, they are taking a faction action around their unmarked structures on priority B. Well, priority B says they've got a mountain that they can get to right over here. So they will get there. Actually, I need this card for just a second. And they're advancing 2 on a track based on ketchup, which ketchup is going to be on economy, so they're going up 2 there. And yep, that would be based on scoring, but it's actually ketchup is the top priority there. Okay. Now I could go to a plains here, which actually would give me 2 points, plus another 2 for the spade I use. But I also want to try to get a trading station out because I could use a bit of coin income coming in this round, starting to come in as well. So I think we are going to go with that plan. Plus round 3 is all about dwellings anyway. Actually, rounds 3 and 4 are both about dwellings. So I think that's the plan we're going to go with. I'm going to spend 2 tools and 3 coins to upgrade this dwelling into a trading station, and now that'll give me a little bit of coin income along with some more power coming in. And then for the Automa faction, they're taking power actions counting 2 from the right. So 1, 2, they're blocking off build a dwelling with a free spade, and 1, 2, they're blocking off gaining 5 power on a book action and gaining no victory points. Let's see. Then for me, I'm going to spend my last tool and 2 coins to build a dwelling right down here, because I could use some tools coming back in. And then the Automa is in their perpendicular section, so they might be passing. They are not. They're advancing one in a discipline, 1 from the right. They're going up in law track. All right, and then I'm going to take my booster action to go up 1 in a discipline, which is going to be 1 in engineering, so I can take advantage of getting a boost, so I can take advantage of a science bonus. The Automa is now in their last card of the deck. The only question is if they're taking the action. They are. They're trying to upgrade to a trading station. Coming down from the top of the board, they will be upgrading this dwelling into a guild. Getting no victory points for that. I will spend 2 power to gain 3. So 1, 2, 3. And then the Automa is done for the round, so they're going to take the leftmost booster. And of course, they don't keep resources, and the Automa will still be the first player. So those 2 coins can go back. And then we'll rebuild the deck again. All right. And then I'm completely tapped out at this point, so I will have to pass. And the tile I want here, let's see, I'm already gaining 7 power, 2, 4, 6, 7. That's exactly what I've got in bowl 3. So I don't need the power. So instead, since we're building dwellings this round, I think I will go ahead and take the... Actually, if I take that tile, I think I would just form a city now, because this would be considered to be a connected space. Actually, when I form a city... Actually, no, this wouldn't be connected because they've got space up here. Because they've got spaces in here before they make that connection down here. So, no, I think this is probably fine if I take the build a dwelling on a river space and +1 on the shipping track, which does give me the 2 coins from that. Okay, so now we do end of round. Gain science bonuses. The Automa goes up 1 on engineering. Since I'm up 1 on that track as well, I also get a coin. The Automa gets 3 victory points because they are up on that track. 1, 2, 3. A little bit of fleck of dust on my glasses or something. Remove X tokens from anything that was used, which was all of that. Then coins on bonus tiles that were used. Or that wasn't picked, I should say. Then flip bonus tiles face up. I left mine face down, or face up already. And then we return this to the box. Okay, that goes in there. We're into round 3 now, where the objective is putting down dwellings. On income phase, I gain a total of 3 workers, which is not a whole hell of a lot. Total of 7 power, 2, 4, 6, 7, and 2 coins. Right. And I think that's everything for me. The Automa is up first in this round, so they are taking power actions. This could be this is actually really bad. They're going 3 from the left. So 1, 2, 3, they're blocking off 6 coins. The bigger problem though is with the power, because 1, 2, 3, they're blocking off 2 workers, which I could have really used here. And the Automa gets 1 point. That was problematic. So now I've got an option of, I don't really want to build a city just yet, because that's actually going to be round 5, and that would also have me working up around here a little bit. So I think I want to try to set myself up to be able to I want to try to set myself up to be able to build a city in round 5. To do that, I need my terraforming steps to be cheaper. So that means I kind of want to put a school out now, which is actually going to cost me all 3 of my tools and 5 coins to upgrade this trading station into a school, which also gives me a competency tile. Let's see. The round bonus here is or the science bonus here is for law, which would give me another scholar, which would bring me up to decisions. That would give me 2 scholars if I go up the law track twice, but I don't like the competency tile that's there. So do I set myself up for... I probably don't need to set myself up for bonuses in round 4, because I'm already gaining at least 6 power depending on round boosters. So I think it will be... what will it be here? I think it's going to... I don't really want to do too much with advancing past a power threshold if I can avoid it. Because if I advance past a power threshold, I'm not going to get any use out of that. Also, I did build a... I don't think I took the victory points from building this dwelling right here. So I'll give myself 2 extra victory points for that. I think it'll be... I don't really necessarily need power, because like I said, I'm already gaining at least 6. But I think I will take the... I think I'll take the competency tile that gives me, that I can use to use an action to gain 4 power. So that'll give me 2 economy books and 1 up on the economy track. As for the Automa's next action, they are taking a faction action around their marked structures on priority B. So looking at priority B, they've got no mountains around them. They do have a wasteland they can get to, which is this wasteland up here. So I need to find a mountain for that. Dwelling for that, and a power marker to mark the structure. And then 2 on a catch-up mechanism. We'll send them up 2 on the banking track. Then back to me. Here, I think it's probably spend. I think now we probably do want to start screwing around a little bit with the tracks. Yeah, so we're going to spend 3 power to gain a scholar, which I might be able to start sending over to tracks. And then looking at the Automa, they are trying to upgrade again, coming up from the bottom of the board. So that will be this dwelling right here that they'll upgrade to a trading station and get 1 victory point. And of course, they're out in the middle of nowhere over here, so I don't get to do anything on my power cycle. What I do get to do, though, is honestly not much. Actually, I could spend 3 power for a... I could spend 3 power for a tool along with a scholar. Actually, what do I need to make my last upgrade? That would be 5 coins, a scholar, and a tool. Yeah, we can do that. So we'll spend 3 power to get a worker. Then I'll spend 2, 3, 4, 5. And my scholar to make my last upgrade on my terraforming track. So now my steps cost me 1 ore per, and I get 6 victory points. 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the Automa, for their next action, is taking power actions again, 2 from the right this time, or 2 from the left. So 1, 2 blocks off 5 power, and 1, 2 blocks off 7 coins. And they get 1 victory point. As for me, I might as well use the last book action while it's available. So I'll spend a book to go up 2 on a track, which the 2 on a track I'm going to go up is going to be... the 2 I'm going to go up on a track is going to be... I think now it is going to be law. I'm stopped because there's a key up there, which means I need a city, but now I want the 2 power. Then the Autumn is in their pass zone, is in their perpendicular section, so they're potentially passing. They are not. Now that it is round 3, now they will take an innovation, and they're going up 1 on a track based on catch-up, which will be it's going to be engineering this time. So they're taking 3 from the right on the innovation. So 1, 2, 3. They're taking the college's innovation. All right. And then I will take my competency action on that to gain 4 power. And then the Autumn is in their last card of the deck. The only question is if they're taking the action or not. They are not. They're taking the leftmost round booster, returning that one, and we'll deal with all of the bonuses at once. So that gets flipped over. The Automa, again, does not keep resources. And then we return, and then we go ahead and rebuild the deck. There we are. And then I have run of the board, which I'm doing exactly nothing with. All right, we turn the last 2, the back 2 perpendicular. And then I will have to pass as well, since I'm tapped out at this point. I've actually got no coins coming in. I'm going to have to rely on my power to not get me screwed on the power actions again. So I will take the 2 victory points, or 2 tools, and round action to go up 1 on a discipline. So I do get the coin from that. Then we gain science bonuses. The Automa goes up 3 on law. 1, 2, 3. I gain 2 scholars because I'm up to 7 on the law track, and that's for every 3 or up. That gives me 2 scholars. The Automa gets 3 victory points, going up to 33. And that's it for that one. So that can go back to the box. And now in round 4, we're about putting dwellings out. As far as income goes, I get a total of 6 power, which brings all of mine over to bowl 3. I did forget to reset the X tokens on these. So all 6 of my power is now in bowl 8, and I get a total of 5 tools. The Automa is the first player, and as long as that power action for coins is available, I will probably be making a beeline for that first this round. They're transforming and building around their marked structures on priority A. So looking at priority A for the Automa, no mountains around, so they can't get to that. There is a forest space around right here. So they will transform that into a mountain. I've got a couple of mountain tiles right here. They'll put that down there. We'll get a power structure, or a marked structure, and they will get no victory points for that. Yes, that's the only space they can build on. That should be the action card. Now, I could spend 2 victory points to gain 3 power, but I'm not going to because all of my power is already in bowl 3. 4 of which I'm going to spend right away to gain 7 coins. Because I need coins badly if I'm planning on taking advantage of the action this round. As for the Automa, they are taking power actions 3 from the right. 1, 2, 3, they're blocking off, go up 2 in a discipline, and 1, 2, 3, blocking off, gain 2 workers, get 1 victory point. As for me, I think we will start by spending 2 coins and 2 tools. I need 1 for a plains terraforming step, and then 1 to pay the actual cost of the workshop. So I'll put that down here, and then I'll put a workshop down on top of that. And then because I did build next to a river hex. Let me just double check my ability. Yes, when I build a workshop next to a river hex, which I did right here, I gain 2 victory points because of my faction, and 2 because of the round bonus. So 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 43. As for the Automa, their next action is they're taking another innovation. So that will be 1, 2, 3, taking the palace, and going up 1 based on catch-up, which in this case 1 could be any one of these, any of the tracks except for law, because we're 3 apart on those. Counting 3 from the right, 1, 2, 3, they're going up on banking. Okay, and then looking to my next turn, it's going to be another 1 spade to get to this island, which I will go ahead and do that. So 2 more tools, another 2 coins. I'll find a swamp tile in here. Here we go. And we'll put another dwelling down there. And that will be another 4 victory points. 2 for the round action, 2 for the special ability. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then coming over to the Automa, they are taking a faction action around their unmarked structures on priority A. So looking at priority A, no mountains they can get to around their structures, not even on the shipping track, but they do have a forest they can get to, which is right here. So that will turn into a mountain for them, and then they'll build there. And then advancing 2 based on ketchup, which will be either engineering or medicine. Based on 1 from the left for numbered selection, it'll be engineering. Then looking at me, I can start using my scholars to fly up some of these tracks, which I probably could do here. And it's based on banking this round, is it? Well, I think I will go ahead and... Actually, what do I need to get to? That's 2 steps to get to a desert, but I only have 4 power there. So I think I will use I think I'll send a scholar over to the banking track, going up 1, 2, 3, and because I passed the 1 power threshold, that lets me gain a power. And then the Automa, that should be flipped over. The Automa's next action is going to be sending a scholar to attract 2 from the... Sending a scholar to attract 2 from the right. So 1, 2. They're sending over to... Actually, let me just double check how sending a scholar works in the solo game. Let's see. All markers with out of discipline on level 12, depending on the support. They'll either try to advance based on score or catch-up. All right, so they're advancing based on catch-up. Discipline where the Automa's marker is at 0, none of them is. And then the discipline where the Automa's marker is closest to you. So that is based on... So actually it's going to be in banking. So they're sending a scholar there and going up on banking. All right, and then for me... let's see, it's probably going to be... what do I want to do here? Well, I think I'll take my round action here to gain 4 power. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to try to spend some of that before the end of the round if I can. The Autumn is potentially passing here, though. They are passing, so they get the middle booster. And then these will get reshuffled to rebuild the Automa deck. Actually, if I wanted to go... Now that I'm looking at the board, I do have run of the board for the rest of the round. Question is if I want to do anything with it. And looking here, I actually have a couple spaces I could go if I wanted to start expanding out a little bit. So I could get up here or down here potentially, because those are swamp spaces, and I'm up at level 2 on the shipping track, so I get to skip up to 2 river spaces when I'm determining adjacency. So yeah, I think we'll go ahead with that plan. So we'll spend 2 coins and a tool. We'll put a dwelling down over here, skipping these 2 river spaces to make a connection. Then I'm going to spend... what do I want to spend here? Well, let's use our round booster action to go up 1 in a discipline. Our bonus this time is on the law track. Or not law, it's on banking this time. let's go up one on, let's go up one on, let's see, what could I do with, what could I do with 7 power right now? 3 to, that's probably not much from the looks of it. So I think I will go up on, actually I will go up on, let's go up one on engineering. Let's see, then I've got the book action, but I'm going to save, I've got the book, but I'm going to save that for next round. So I think I will call that a round. And then which booster do I want? I think here I want the, actually no, before I do that, I do want to spend some of this power, because I'm going to waste a lot of power on income. So I'll spend 3 power to gain a scholar. And then does that open up my options at all? I think it does. Question is for what? Question is for what does that open up my options? I'm going to need coins desperately this round, but unfortunately, nothing out there gives me, none of the boosters give me any coins. So what I think it opens up my options for is to put down another dwelling or another workshop. And I do have enough scholars if I want to spend both of them as workers and pay for 1 terraforming step, which could be this, actually either this island or this island, so I can maybe start doing something off of the only problem with building out here is I can't get to this swamp out here without making a connection. So I think my better play is to actually go up to this island up here, since that'll get me to the same place and being a one-step connection. So now I need to find another swamp, which will go up there. And that'll be another workshop, as that is another river space I built next to. That's another 4 points for me. And then I will have to pass at that point. So I'm gaining 6 power already, which is going to move 3 back into bowl. Actually, if I gain 9, that'll move all of it into bowl 3. So I think we will take this tile. All right, so that's all done. Now we gain science bonuses as I forgot I had this power as well. So I am up 3 on banking, which will give me 4 power. So 1, 2, 3, 4, which means all of it will be ready to go anyway, and some of that power is going to go to waste. Then the Automa gets 5 victory points as they are up on banking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't count. The Automa also goes up, or the dummy player also goes up 3 on banking. So from 2, they're going to go up to 5. We return X tokens. I've already rebuilt the Automa deck. We place coins on the ones that weren't selected. Once it decides it wants to cooperate with me, there we go. All right. Then we flip bonus tile face up, and then this one returns to the box. And round 5, we're looking at forming a city. So on income phase, I will gain a total of 9 power, which is only going to be 5, because I've already got all of my power active. Then I gain a scholar, and a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tools. 2, 4, 5, 6. And now I have to hope that I don't get screwed again on the first Automa action of the round. So first up, we dodge a bullet. They're transforming and building around their power structures on priority A. So based on priority A, they've got no mountains they can get to. Nope. Forests, yes, they do have a forest they can get to because they're up 1. They're actually considered to be up 2 on the shipping track now that it is round 5. So let me expand that out a little bit. And I've got to remember, mountain is their home terrain around their power structure. So no, 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 no. All right, so it is the forest right here they're trying to get to. So that's a mountain. We'll get a power marker for that while I'm on this side of the board. And a power structure, or a dwelling. Then they're advancing 2 based on catch-up, which, as we're closest on, actually there's 3 we're close on. Looks like it's banking, engineering, and law. So based on directional selection, 2 from the right, 1, 2, they're advancing on law. And then I could gain a power for free since I've got everything over there, but I'm not going to bother with that. In better news, I do get to take the power action to gain 7 coins. I needed that. As for the Automa, they... I only need 1 card because this is their support card. Silly me. They're taking power actions now, 3 from the right. So 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, blocking off 2 workers, and they get 1 victory point for that. Then over to me. This round is about putting out cities, is it? Well, I've got 1 city I can put out already. So I'll spend 2 tools and 2 coins because I need a terraforming step to get to this plains up here. Which once I find a swamp, which is right here, and put a dwelling down, that gives me 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 power, and I do have a city. So I'll take the 5 victory points for the city while I decide what city I actually want. I think here, the question is, what do I need if I'm going to be able to form another city this round? Unfortunately, that is a very good question. Let's see, 2, 4. Actually, I would have enough to be able to make another city right now already because I've got the 2 tools I need per workshop, and if I upgrade these 2 into trading stations, that will be enough to form a city. That'll be enough to form another city in this section of the board. So really, my hands are pretty much untied at this point. Which means I've got options available to me. So if I want to be able to make a city, now's the time for it. But I think in order to set myself up, I'm going to take the 6 victory points and 6 coins. So I'll put that up here. Once the trading station decides, or once the dwelling decides it wants to stay, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 6 more coins. Okay. And then the Automa's next card. They're transforming and building around their unmarked structures on priority A. They've got a mountain they can get to right here. So that's where they'll transform and build. Yep, that's actually, yeah, that's this. They'll get to this mountain right here. which I don't even know why I'm reaching for a tile on that one, because that's already in their native space. 3 points to the Automa for that one. 1, 2, 3. And then I will gain a power for free off of that. All right. Then over to me, I will spend 3 coins and 2 workers to upgrade this dwelling into a trading station. I can do that because because they've got a structure adjacent to me. Actually, they've got a few adjacent to me. And then for the Automa, their next action is they're taking another innovation. This one is one from the right. They're taking the architecture, and they're advancing 1 in a catch-up scheme, which is going in a catch-up track, which is going to be law. Let's see. Then coming back to my turn again, we're going to spend another 3 coins. Actually, I've got the booster tile that gives me 3 victory points for a trading station, so I should be at 65. I spent the 3 coins and another 2 tools. We'll upgrade this dwelling into another trading station, which is going to give me 3 points for the trading station, and I have enough to form another city. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's going to give me another 5 victory points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now what do I want to do with, what city tile do I want for that one? The spade isn't going to be that terribly useful. But, I wonder if I just set myself up for round 6 and try to put out schools potentially. Schools and or trading stations. Let's see, which one? Yeah, spades aren't that useful, so I don't want those. 8 power doesn't do much for me here. 6 tools and 6 points and 6 coins would be helpful. 7 points and up on every track could be useful as well. 8 points and another scholar also could be helpful. Let's go. So I've got actually, and I've also got 5 points and 2 books, which is also tempting. But given that the book action that I would usually want is up 2 on a discipline, that's usually not available to me. So I've got 4 very realistic options here, and I think I'm going to go with 4 victory points and 3 workers this time, now that I've actually got some coin income coming in. So 4 points and 3 tools. 3 tools. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. And then the next action for the Automa, they are taking a faction action around their unmarked structures on priority A. So they've got no mountains within a shipping distance of 2. Actually, yes, they do. They've got a mountain out here they can get to. And then going up 2 on a discipline based on catch-up, which is going to be up on law track. So I may want to send a scholar there to try to lock that down. But since I've got a trading station adjacent, I will spend a victory point to gain 2 power. Then coming back over to me, I think I am going to act on that strategy. I'll send a scholar to law to go up 2, which will give me another income of 6 power on income phase. And then for the Automa, they are taking power actions 2 from the right. Power and book actions, 2 to block that off. 1, 2 to block that off, and they get 1 victory point. Then looking at me, well, I will take an action to gain 4 power. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've got all but 1 and both 3 ready to go. The Autumn is potentially passing here. Let's see what they're doing here. If they're passing, they are not. They're sending a scholar based on Ketchup and 1 from the right. So Ketchup is going to be law again. They're going up to 10 on law. Then I want to spend some of this power so it doesn't get wasted in income phase. I'll spend 3 power to gain a scholar. And then the Automa is potentially on their last card. The only question is if they're taking the action or not. They are not. So they will be the first player going into round 6. They will take this tile, return that one. Of course, the Automa doesn't keep resources, as I mentioned. Then we'll build the deck. All right, so that's all done. 1, 2. Let's see. Now I've got a little bit of a run of the board. I could put down a school now if I wanted to. The question is, what does that really do for me here? It could potentially let me screw around with the tracks again. But what would I even want at this point if I were to put down another school? That would be potentially 3 on engineering to pass and get 2 victory points per city. But so far I'm running away with this game, but I think the tracks might be where I run into a little bit of trouble. So I do want to try to head that off if I can. That is a dilemma, though. Or I sit tight and... Let's see, that would be 3 for another... And I could put out my university now, which is also an option, but that would completely clean me out of resources. Although it would give me a scholar it would still leave me with a scholar on income phase. And there are a couple of bonus tiles available that give me workers on income phase, but once again, that leaves me stuck in a potential position of having to hoping I don't get screwed on income phase, or on the first couple of actions while I cycle my power back around. But I think I have to gamble. I think I do have to gamble on it. So I will spend... Actually, yeah, I would be able to do this. So 3 power as a worker to give me 4 tools and a scholar as a 5th. 1 as a coin and completely clean myself out of resources. I'm kind of gambling on this a little bit, but I will make this school into a university. And then what competency tile do I want for that? Let's see. Could go... Like I said, I've got a couple of options available to me, but I think we're going to go 3 on engineering because that's probably where we're going to play the most games in terms of the track. So 1, 2, 3. That'll give me 3 power back. And then since I'm completely cleaned out of resources, I will have to pass. That'll give me another 4 victory points for the 2 cities I've built. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the tile I want here is going to be the bridge and a book on income, mostly so I can see if I can get this book tile, or this book action, as a backup option in case my power doesn't cycle around to give me the coins in time. All right, then science bonuses. Since I am a 5 on the law track, or on the engineering track, I do get to put a spade down somewhere, which will be to turn this desert space, I think, into a plains. Even though I'm not expecting to do anything with it in this game. So that's my science bonus. We remove X tokens. I would put coins out on the bonus tiles, but this is the last round of the game, so I'm not going to bother with that. Also, the dummy player goes up 4 on the engineering track. Bonus tiles flip up, and we can return that to the box. Now at the start of round 6, I believe, is when we reveal the round space token for the dummy player, right? Yes. So the area score tile, this is the number of spaces that the dummy player is considered to have. They have 13 spaces. I'm pretty sure we're both well clear of that. On income phase, I get a total of 8 power, so that's going to be 4, 8. So actually I've actually got 4 power ready to go, but once again, I've got to hope I don't get screwed. Then I get 5 workers, or 5 tools. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I actually get a total of 8 power, so I should have 2 more over there ready to go. 4 coins. And a book, since I've got that round tile, it doesn't really matter what book I take because I'm planning on spending it for coins. The automa takes their first action of the round. They are sending a scholar. Based on catch-up, they're sending a scholar up to the engineering track. 1, 2, 3. They managed to overtake the dummy player, and they get 3 points for that. 1, 2, 3. Then for my first action, since I kind of dodged a bullet a little bit, I will take the power action for 4 power to gain 7 coins. Oh, I also get a scholar on income phase. And then for the automa, they are sending another scholar. Based on catch-up, that will be over to the law track. Actually, they can't send to the law track. So based on catch-up, we're 3 apart on banking, 3 apart on engineering, 3 on law. So 2 from the left, 1, 2. They're sending another scholar over to engineering. Also, I should have 6 power, so from that, so I should have 2 more ready to go because that's what I had at the time. All right, then back over to me once again. Let's see, since I've got the 4 power ready to go, I'm going to spend that to get 2 more tools. Then for the automa's next action, they are taking a faction action around their unmarked structures on priority B. They have mountains they can get to on, they're actually up level 2 on shipping. They do not. Nope. And how about wastelands? They do have wastelands they can get to. So they've got that one or that one they could get. Actually, they've got this one that's adjacent, this one they could get to, or this one up here. So the tiebreaker on that is going to be 3 coming down from the bottom of the board. So 1, 2, 3, they're building here. And those are all options around their unmarked spaces. Then going up 2 based on catch-up, but there's 3 apart, so 3, 1, 2, 3. They're going up on banking. And then since they built here, I will spend a victory point to gain 2 power. Okay. And then since I still have the 2 books available to me, I will spend those to gain another 6 coins. So I'm probably a little bit over what I need here, but I think it'll be fine. Then for the Automa, they are going up 1 based on catch-up, which will be on medicine track. So they're going up 1, and they don't have space for another innovation, so they don't get that. Let's see. We also need to keep an eye on that round score tile. So right now they are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We are at 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need to make a connection. We need to make a connection into here. Question is, I need 3 steps to get to. Actually, if I go here, that's probably a much easier connection because I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That makes an easier connection, but I still need to put down a few more dwellings. So I think I will start there. So we'll spend 2 coins and a worker to put a dwelling down right here. Then for the Automa's turn, they are taking another faction action around their unmarked spaces on priority A. No mountains they can get to. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4 forests they can get to. And coming down 1 from the top of the board, they're building up here. Actually, I don't think they can get here based from their unmarked structures. No, they can't get here. They can get here though. So here, 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 or here. So yeah, they're building on this space up there. And then they'll be advancing 2 again on catch-up. They're building up there. Oh no, they actually don't have a dwelling to build, so they're upgrading instead. So still coming down from the top of the board, they're building. Actually, let me look at that. Let me put the cards together again. So 1 from the top of the board, they're actually upgrading this dwelling or this workshop into a guild and advancing 2 based on catch-up. That will once again be law, or medicine, I should say. And then since they upgraded right here, I can spend 2 victory points to gain 3 power, and I will. Let's see. Then back over to me. Since planes is another 1 terraforming step, I will go ahead and do that. So 2 and 2. To make that into a plain or into a swamp and put a dwelling down. And then for the Automa, they are upgrading again, and now they do have a trading station to upgrade. So coming down from the top of the board, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. They're upgrading this dwelling to a trading station and getting 1 victory point. I will spend 1 victory point to gain 2 power. Then back over to me once again. I think I'm going to take my round action to gain 1, 2, 3, 4 power. That's on my competency tile, in case you're wondering where that's coming from. Just going to check my email here real quick, make sure nothing crazy is going on. Nope, everything looks fine. All right. And then over to the Automa, they are transforming and building around their marked structures on priority A. Do they have a forest they can get to around their marked structures? They do not. Actually, they don't have any mountains they can get to either. No forests either. They do have wastelands they can get to. They actually got one right here, so that's where they're going to build. And they do have a dwelling available for that. All right, then advancing 2 in catch-up, which we're 6 apart there, 5 apart on engineering, 5 apart on banking. 1, 2, they're going up 2 on engineering. So they've got that one locked up. And then since they built up here, I will spend 2 victory points to gain 3 power. Alrighty then, over to me. I think now that I've actually got 6 power there, I will spend it to build a workshop with 2 free spades. Both of those spades are going to go down here, as I'm looking for a swamp tile. Here we are. We'll put that down there. And then I've built a couple of hexes next to rivers, so I should have another 4 victory points. That'll bring me up to 78. And now the Automa is potentially claiming end of game since they're in their perpendicular section. And they are claiming end of game because they've got that tile there. So the Automa is done for the game, and I've got run of the board. The question is, can I run up the score enough to make the trouble I've been having on the research tracks not matter? That is going to be a good question, unfortunately. I will start off, though, with... do we actually finally make a school upgrade here? And I think the answer to that is... Actually, we were skipping... So that city tile should be there because that's one of the river spaces we skipped. The answer there, I think, is yes. So I will spend 5 coins and 3 tools to upgrade this trading station, or this guild, into a school, which will give me 4 victory points, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a competency tile, which I think is going to be... Now do I bite the bullet and go 3 on... Well, that's going to give me no victory points at the end of the round. So I will go... I can definitely fight pretty hard for law at this point. Or for medicine, I should say. So I will go... Actually, I could just win law outright here. Which I will... I will go ahead and do that. So I will take the... Even though that's going to give me no victory points by itself, it will give me the top of the law track. That'll send me up to the top of the law track. Then... Actually, I do have an option. No, I don't. I was going to say I have an option to upgrade to another school, but I don't. So what I will do is, so that this tile actually does something for me, I'm going to send a scholar over to the law track, or to medicine, go up 3 on medicine, and gain a power since I crossed a power threshold. How much connected space do I have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Best I can do is tie, so I think that's what I'll go with. So I'll pay my last 2 coins and my last worker to put down a workshop down there. And that's not by a water hex, so I don't get any victory points for that. Unfortunately, I will have to claim end of game at this point. So because I'm passing, I've got 2 city tiles. I get 4 victory points for that. And then I gained victory points for my lowest level on the research, on the science tracks. That's another 3 points. And that's end of game. And here's where I hope that kind of running away with it mitigates the trouble I was having on the research tracks this game. I'm looking for I know I've got 100-point tokens. Here they are. Because I know I'm going to need those. So based on continuous connected space, the dummy player was considered to have 13. I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I tied them. The automa has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So actually, I tie the dummy player, which means I get 15 points for that. So that brings me up from 89 to 104. Good thing I grabbed 100 for that. And then the dummy player gets 6. So it's definitely looking like it's definitely looking like having trouble with the tracks isn't going to matter in this game. So now we score the tracks individually. On banking, the automa got to 9, the dummy player got to 5, I got to 4. So the automa gets 8 points, I will get 2. That'll bring me up to 60. That'll bring the automa to 62, me up to 106. Then on law, I got to 8 or 12. The automa got to 10. The dummy player got to 5. So that gives me 8 points, bringing me up to 114. The automa gets 4, going up to 66. Then on engineering, the automa got to 12. Dummy got to 7. I got to 5. So the automa gets 8, going to 74. I get 2, going to 116. Then on medicine, the automa got to 6. I got to 3. The dummy player was at 4. So the automa gets 8 points once again, going to 82. I get 2, going to 118. And finally, 5 coins is worth a point, so I get 1 more point, going up to 119. And that is Age of Innovation. I managed to win this one by a final score of 119 to 82. So another game I kind of ran away with a little bit. That'll do it for Age of Innovation. I really enjoy this game, as actually I've pretty much enjoyed everything in the Terra Mystica universe. As far as ranking the 3 of them goes, since I know you're going to ask me about that, Jester, can you wait until Pinot with Phoenix on that one? Because I do want to make... Actually, I'm going to have a couple of special topics. I'd like to devote some time during Pinot with Phoenix to a 3-way comparison between the two. I originally wanted to shoot a separate video with that, but I figure it'll be a bit easier if I devote a little bit of time during Pinot with Phoenix to a 3-way comparison of these three games. So I think that's how we're going to handle that. I'll say, like I said, the one thing I will say though is I think you made a comment a while back on how you see Terra Mystica at least how you see Age of Innovation eventually taking Terra Mystica's place on my table. I do kind of see that happening a bit, but again, I'll talk more about why I see that happening during Pinot with Phoenix at the end of the year. And I will, if you guys are going to join me for Pinot with Phoenix later this month, I would advise you have some snacks handy, have some drinks. That is going to be a long episode of Pinot with Phoenix. We're halfway through the month, and I think I've got 30 some odd distinct games that I've played on the channel. And I've got probably that many more scheduled. So yeah, pop some popcorn, have some snacks and drinks handy, because that is going to be a long episode of Pinot with Phoenix. I don't know if it's going to go 2 hours, but I would be prepared for the possibility. I'm just doing some cleanup here. I'm doing some early cleanup so I can at least get the board out of the way so we can crack today's entry in the advent calendar. Now. All right. Let's see, what blue tokens were back here. Oh, I should have used the... I actually had one of the wrong set of tokens out. So what was the trading station one? Because that's the bonus action we used there. Right, the Automa would have had an extra 7 victory points. Not that that would have mattered in the grand scheme of things. So yes, I did have the wrong final round token. I should have used one from the Automa set. Like I said, the Automa would have had 7 victory points, but that wouldn't have mattered for anything at the end of the game. Because we ended up being too far ahead when I was a little bit worried about the neglect of the track that we were going through during that game, causing us problems. All right. Let's get the city tiles. City tokens, that one goes in there. Where did my book actions go? Those went up there. Where did I put the book actions down? I know I've got more of them. Thought I just... Oh, I was going to say, I just had them in my hand. Then we've got the group bonus up there. We need that to come out of the way as well. Let's see, group bonuses. I don't have those over here. Don't think. What did I do with these stupid things? At least the book actions are now accounted for. Yeah, they didn't go in there. All my extra baggies there. Automa stuff. I'll deal with finding that later. Another tile that should have gone in there. But I think we've got at least enough room out of the way now that we can bring the advent calendar in, and we'll crack today's entry on that. Yes, there's still a bit of stuff from Age of Innovation on the board, but I've got enough room at least to put the advent calendar down. This has actually been a pretty fun part of the channel that I've been doing this year. This is the first time I've ever cracked an advent calendar on the channel. Admittedly, I came up with the name from the idea of the advent calendar, but this year I finally decided, you know what? We're going to go with a little fun idea on the channel, and we're going to crack an advent calendar on the channel. So about November-ish next year, if you guys start seeing any advent calendars you think I should look into, feel free to send them my way, and I will definitely take a look at them for a calendar to crack. I do like the game-themed calendars for, well, obvious reasons. Today is the 17th, so we need this entry of the advent calendar. Let's see what we've got here. Coming from the green and white set, we've got the D12 in this set, where the special symbol is the 12. Then I'll check it through the tower off shot. And yeah, it actually goes through the tower very nicely. So after that very long video, that will do it for this playthrough of Age of Innovation. Later this afternoon, what the? We've actually got, oh, looks like we've got a rune die in here as well. Looks like a D4, which I do not like that style of die at all. It's definitely not going to go through the tower nice and clean. It's not even going to roll that terribly well. But looks like that's a thing we can use as well. So that'll do it for this playthrough of Age of Innovation. Later this afternoon, we'll be dipping under the waves of the Mediterranean Sea for the first time as we play Beneath the Med by GMT Games. We'll probably have another stream later tonight. And as for tomorrow, let's see what I've got planned on the channel. Got to pull up my Excel content schedule so I can check. Ah, yes. Well, as of now, tomorrow morning, we're going to the pandemic world as we play World of Warcraft, Wrath of the Lich King. But that might change. I haven't decided on that yet. So stay tuned to the channel for what I decide to play tomorrow morning. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care, everyone.